watchers, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to compare these two automatic dive watches, so let's just quickly introduce them to you. On the left corner I have none other than my Oris Aquis date, this blue sunburst style, very deep blue with the black ceramic bezel. Okay, something I reviewed very early on in the channel and has remained one of my staples after all this time. And then on the right corner, what I have here is a recent review. This Raymond Weil Freelancer diver provided by my friend Mitch. So thank you to Mitch. Something that I've also enjoyed, and I enjoyed the look of it. And it also reminded me a lot of the Oris. So I thought I'd compare these two pieces. So they're both Swiss-made automatic dive watches from well-known brands at very, very similar price tier. So both have 316L quality steel finishing, screw-in case back. So Oris with that display red rotor, and Raymond Weil with a more conventional case back that you see there. Screw-in crowns with 300-meter water-resistant rating, unidirectional ceramic insert bezels. Fantastic lume. They both have lume that kind of work all the way through the night. So very well implemented lume. Similar pricing. Who will prevail between the cult favorite Oris Aquis date and the surprisingly good Freelancer diver? MSRP wise, guys. So the Oris is 1850 USD and the Raymond Weil is actually 1750. So very, very similar. Similarly, the sale price 1300 roughly versus 1200. So they're very, very close in terms of the pricing. So let's get into the categories here and explore these. Okay, first one up to, I've already put a red X next to it because the caliber is exactly the same thing. So SW200 Sellita. They are effectively identical and the same thing. It is a Sellita SW200 movement in both of these, similarly well regulated, so I'm not going to say any more about it except that I gave 7 for Oris before for this caliber, and I'm going to stick with 7 for the RW as well. Alright, moving on to Casein Bezel then. Alright, so this is where I think there's a bit of differentiating that I have to do here. So the Oris has a fantastic case. So, it's a great case design. Look at the kettle shape on the side there, right? Those crown guards, which are additional, that display case back with the kind of that porthole style design, and those unique lugs. I think all this, makes me like this a lot, and also make a lot of people love this watch. That's why a lot of people like it, because of the unique and original case design. Now, the RW is pretty darn stylish, I gotta say. Quality. It's conservative, but it is a little bit more generic and derivative, so I have to kind of mark it down a little bit for that. But I still think this is a pretty well designed watch. It's just that I think I have to give an extra mark to the Oris there. So it's 8 versus 7 on the case and bezel design. Bezel wise, I think they both are fantastic. If the mark was just about the bezel and the kind of design of the bezel, I'd give them the same mark. But case wise, I think the Oris edges ahead. Okay, next up, dial and crystal. So crystal, not much to say, both anti-reflective coated sapphire. So it comes down to the dial. So the Oris here has that beautiful blue sunburst dial that I like so much. Simple elegance in the hands, stylish markers, and everything has been thought out. The chapter ring here. I think the RW is, I really think this is equally pretty, with that deep blue, that different looking extended date display. They've kind of done their own thing. They haven't copied other people's. So, I'm going to give it equal marks for this. I think they're both equally well done in terms of the dial design here. Okay, 8 for both RW and the Oris. Next up, okay, bracelet. This I really like raving about the bracelets on these watches. So, solid end links all round, screw adjustment, solid clasp there, and a very solid dive display on the Oris with the push button. So everything is fantastic, and this is one of my favorite bracelets that I have in my collection. To my surprise, this watch is, I reckon, really just as good. Solid all round, screw adjustment, of course, push deployant, and equally solid dive extension. I have to give it the same mark. It really is identical in design and quality level, I would say. You know, that's what I think about these bracelets. 8 out of 10 for both. I can't separate them. Okay, quality. Now, this one is a little bit more subjective to some extent. I think they both have great Swiss level finishing. They both have the same level of attention to detail. You know, I think the finishing on these watches are both great. If you take a closer look, I'm not going to go. I can't go into too much detail here. You know, check out the full review for more if you want. But I think they're both fantastic, and I think they're both at the same level, and so be it as well, because they're really nearly the same in price. 8 out of 10 for both on the quality stakes here. Next then, style. Okay, again, subjective, hopefully not too controversial. I think they're both very good looking. I think they both have fantastic wrist presence. So I'm just going to show it, you know, just a quick wrist shot here, right? The wrist presence, the style, you know, the Oris has the different lugs and case design here. I think that, you know, they really is a very pretty watch. The Raymond Weil, I think, is, you know, nearly equally good. So I'm going to show you this to you as well. So, you know, nearly equally good, I think, in terms of how it looks, really stylish. I ended up giving these the same mark, 8 out of 10 for both. But, you know, I'm tempted to give half a mark more for Oris just because it's got something different there in terms of the case there. But, you know, I'm going to settle for 8 out of 10 for both here. Okay, next one, guys, performance. 9 out of 10 for both. You know, you've seen it, and I'm just going to say that yes, the Oris is one of the best tool divers I have ever seen. You know, yes, that Planet Ocean Omega is probably the more pure-blooded tool diver. This one is one of the best in the business that I have seen. What surprised me about the RW is I think it's every bit as good. You know, maybe again half a mark to the Oris because it's just a little bit more robust. But in terms of water resistant rating, bezel function, lume function, and the solidity of the clasp and dives extension, they are essentially identical in those aspects. So, you know, I've given them performance-wise, they are both fantastic, I think, and it's 9 out of 10 for both on that mark for me. Right, moving on, guys. Durability. Okay, again, it's a close one. They're both very solid steel construction, and they will withstand solid dive use, you know, proper dive use. You know, I'm pretty sure of that. And let me know if you, in fact, have taken some of these watches to diving. I'm sure they will withstand proper dive use, whatever you subject them to. I just think the Raymond Weil is slightly less muscular. I mean, look at the lugs on the Oris. It's very, very, you know, strong looking and a lot of metal there. The RW is a little bit more dressy, and it is kind of a more dressy design with that Jubilee style bracelet. So I think I'm going to give just that one more mark for the Oris, you know, 9 versus 8 on the RW. You know, the RW is also 10 grams lighter on the adjusted weight, so there's slightly less steel overall in the RW compared to the Oris. All right, nearly there, guys. Value. All right, essentially the same price tier. I've mentioned the prices, they're only $100 apart. I think, you know, you're getting the same movement, same level of quality, performance. I think the Oris edges ahead slightly in some of the categories we've explored. So, you know, I think it's identical on the value. You're getting very clearly what you're getting for the price here. 8 out of 10 on the value sticks for both these fantastic divers, I reckon. Last one, brand strength. Okay, so again, hopefully not too controversial here. I mean, Oris is absolutely respected, I think, in all the forums and kind of conversations I've had with people. It does have the street cred of being one of the remaining independent companies, and it's been established for over 100 years. I mean, RW, I think, also I give them respect because they remain independent, but they're kind of like a baby. They're a 1970s establishment, so nowhere near as long a history. In terms of brand, I guess X factor, brand recognition, I think Oris does have it a little bit over RW. So I've given 8 versus 7 on the brand recognition, the brand strength here. All right, and that's it, guys. Now, what's the total? If you've been listening, you'll kind of add up, and you'll know that Oris has edged slightly ahead. So, you know, guys, in summary, this has been a very interesting and fascinating comparison for me to do here. You know, the The RW has been surprisingly good. I've really been quite pleased how good a diver this is. Overall, I think the Freelancer goes toe-to-toe with the very good Aquis in dial and bracelet design, quality, style, performance, and the value stakes, But, the Aquis does edge ahead overall in case design, the overall durability, and the brand strength marks there, as well as half a marks in some of the other categories that I mentioned here. So I think, as objective as I can be, I have to give the Oris the edge ahead here on this head-to-head comparison. So guys, there we go. Let me know your thoughts on this very interesting comparison that I have done here. If you have either of these watches or both, I'd really like to know what you think about this comparison. Guys, if you enjoy my videos, do consider subscribing. I put out new content every week, always aiming to be objective and unbiased about all things horology. Thank you again for sticking with me, and as always, I'll catch you guys next time.